actually actualized their threats. Visas have been cancelled. As I speak now, the speaker's visas have been cancelled for America the other day, and this is also confirmed. This is email from U.S. Embassy. And dear Madam Speaker, the United States government has revoked your current visas on information that came available after your last issuance. As of May 12, 2023, you don't possess a valid travel visa to the U.S., though you are welcome to apply again. Please forward your passport to the embassy through Ministry of Finance so that we can make necessary modifications to your visas. I think they were looking for my visa for the US, they didn't find it. So the first victim is the speaker. And I understand even the UK government is doing the same. Now, first of all, you will cancel all our visas. And by the way, you are right. For me, I have no problem with the way a country manages their affairs. If in their wisdom and democracy, they don't want us in their countries, it is their right. And I don't want anybody to blame America or UK for cancelling visas for this time. It is their right. And me, I will not complain. I will not begrudge any embassy for cancelling anybody's visas. So what that means is that my only problem with these people is single picking. This law here was signed by the President of the Republic of Uganda. May I invite America, Canada, Britain, the entire European Union, to also cancel the visas of Mr. Museveni. May I also invite them to cancel visas of all MPs except two. Except two. Let all MPs' visas be cancelled. Let there be a travel ban, not only on Vasalirwa and Anita Among, Right Honorable. Let all of us be subjected. In fact, let all Ugandans be denied visas to America, Canada, and the European Union. Let all Ugandans. Why? Because this has been the most bipartisan bill in the history of this country. The most bipartisan. So why pick out Vasalirwa? Why pick out Speaker Anita Among? Why? Cancel all our visas. But is this shocking? No. It was actually expected. I personally spoke to the Honorable Bahati. Honorable Bahati told me that after he had championed this bill in the previous parliament, he could not even get space where to sleep in the US. Booking space, a hotel to sleep, was a challenge. So the first consequence is that people with American visas and the European Union and the others, their visas either will be cancelled or have been cancelled. And that means don't waste your time applying for a visa to any of those countries. I cannot, for example, apply for a visa to the US. Fortunately, I was last in the US in 2009. I had not even become MP. I have never gone back. So this is a call to the MPs and all Ugandans that expect travel bans, expect visa restrictions. But my challenge to the Western world is that don't single out individuals. Do it to all of us. Then we will know that you are fair. Number two, I was speaking to my colleagues in Ghana. In Ghana, they've even gone ahead to threaten freezing accounts. Freezing accounts. And slapping bans on international banking institutions that partner with the US banks and other financial institutions. So if you have monies on your account and you have a salary, remove it. Remove it. Because you are likely to be a victim. Number three, aid cuts and controls. That they have mentioned. They are going to cut aid in Uganda, and perhaps that is likely to affect many aspects of our budgets. How advocates of these acts have already written to Twitter and these others to have me deregistered. And it's with now passing of this law, they now have a stronger case. So what is likely to happen is that some of us will go back to the traditional mode of communication. If I want you, I have to look for you physically because of this. Now, what is my advice to the country? First of all, I want to advise as follows. On the side of government, let us now consider looking for development partners. And I am ready to champion the cause of going to the Arab world to look for donor support. The Arab world, we will go to Saudi Arabia, we will go to Kuwait, we will go to Qatar, we will go to UAE, and this deficit, which will be occasioned by these cuts, can easily be replaced. So let's re-engage. If we've not been thinking about the Middle East, and particularly the Arab world, where they respect morals and values, let us go there. And I want to invite government to seriously consider us going to the Arab world for donor support. Number two, to advise my colleagues with families and businesses to reconsider shifting them, because they are likely to be victims. So if you have families in the UK, in the European Union, in the US, in Canada, this is the time to reconsider shifting them. Because time will come when you will no longer have visas. You will not go to visit them. You will not go to check on your businesses. So those who have them, this is really the time to consider seriously relocating them. Number three, frugality. Frugality. Now that aid has been cut or is going to be cut, it is important that we are frugal. When you look at these budgets of ours that we have just passed, and these bogus allocations to State House, President's office, these convoys we are having, the big cars, the fuel gasolers, it is now time that we become frugal. So that monies that could be spent on unnecessary aspects or sectors is redirected to go to health, to go to education, and other sectors that have been funded by the Western world. And I'm very sure if we adopt frugality, we will have monies available to meet the deficits that would have been occasioned by these budgetary cuts. And I only hope and pray that our colleagues in government take that aspect. Finally, on the way forward, to call upon the President, the Speaker of Parliament, the MPs to stand our ground. We have no choice but to stand our ground. Otherwise, if we don't stand our ground, this is what is going to happen. Next time, they will bring another condition on our laws. Don't pass this law. If you do so, then X, Y, and Z is likely to happen. So if we don't stand our ground as a country, as a people, as a community, then we will completely have seceded our sovereignty and independence as a country. I want to advise our colleagues, especially in the Western world, that let's respect each other. We could have taken on a path of pretense. You imagine a situation where we say, please, for the sake of aid, let's sign this bill. And we pretend as if we like it, when deep inside our hearts, it's not really what we want. But we have chosen not to do so. And I'm trying to seek appointments with the diplomats in this country. I want to ask them, how do they treat their own people? Because it is actually not true that everybody in the Western world supports homosexuality. It is not true. I am aware, for example, in America, annually, the states seek to pass legislation to outlaw homosexuality. They are only defeated at the level of the federal government in Washington. I know it. So what happens to their own citizens who are opposed to this? What happens to them? What happens to them? So I think the aspect of mutual respect is really needed, and we should really be taking that stand. So colleagues, I thought I would make those highlights as we celebrate today which, as far as I'm concerned, is a very important day in the history of legislation in this country. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.